calling the police should be a last resort for dealing with a mask issue. But of course, the law is the law.
Issue?
Sorry, a mask in a shop. Having to wear a face covering in a shop.
But if someone's not wearing their mask and they refuse to, do I ring the police?
I would say if you've tried everything and you're really concerned, you can't get the person out of the store, and they're getting aggressive or whatever. Yes, of course you should ring the police.
But only if they get aggressive.
Well, I think people will.
How helpful is this law?
My hope is that the vast majority of people will comply.
Indeed.
And that people who are not complying will be shamed into complying, or shamed to leave the store by the storekeepers or by other.
But unless there's aggression,
members
don't
of
call
the
the police.
public. If somebody is concerned about what's going on in their store, yes, of course they should call the police, and we will try to assist.
This world is not what you think it is. This world is not what you think it is.
Media, I'm watching them at work. All of this messaging around the vaccine, so positive, so chirpy, so upbeat. A new vaccine, we might have it by Christmas. What an excitement. Who's going to be first to unwrap their vaccine prize? I know this media, I know this messaging. It's contrived, it's controlled by the state. It's to make you believe that the vaccine is only a good thing. And what do you think these things are? These masks that they're forcing us to wear now after the coronavirus outbreak is largely over. Why now? Well, for me, this is a training device. This is training you to believe that you need something to protect you from corona when you're out and about, that you need something else. It's training you to accept a state vaccine. Because the simple truth is, if you do not have any underlying health conditions, if you are not morbidly obese, and if you are under the age of 80, statistically, you can get corona and be just fine. I don't believe you need one of these, and I believe this is a training device to foist a vaccine upon you. These are just my views. Clearly, you need to question everything. You will make your own splendid choices.
Hey, Health Seekers, Kate Shimarani here, natural nurse in a toxic world. So I just went to Tesco, all around my store, didn't wear a mask. No one said anything to me, really. Not even the security guard. It's gone dark. The staff who know me, they just said hi. They didn't even say anything. I'm exempt under the government's guidelines. I get anxious wearing a mask because I know that I don't have gills. I don't breathe through my ears. And I've had cancer, so I would like my oxygen level to stay up, not my CO2 level. I don't want to breathe in my own toxins. I don't want to run the risk of getting a lung infection or activating my own coronaviruses. So there you are. So Cressida Dick today, head of the Metropolitan Police, I believe it's called under the Criminal Justice Act of 2015, Part 1, is it 26.2? Abuse of police powers and privileges. I think it just about came up to that. She said publicly that the other people should shame those not wearing a mask, and they should be so ashamed they leave the store. Really? Does that include all those people that do in fact have hidden disabilities? Other shoppers don't know that. And what's more, they don't have to divulge the fact that they're not wearing a mask, that they are medically exempt. What if they suffer from depression? They feel like that mask is causing them extreme anxiety. So Cressida Dick, shame on you. Shame on you for publicly saying that and giving the minions out there, those that really do want to just be so authoritarian over other people, the right to do that. You've just given them a license to do that. Absolutely outrageous. Now, remember that mask does nothing, doesn't stop any viruses that are nanoparticles going through it. It does nothing. It doesn't stop any spread of anything. And if I hear one more person going, oh, well, surgeons wear them and they're all right. They wear them so they don't get spittle into an open wound. I worked in a theatre suite in my early 20s, reception recovery. We were often in theatre. Unless we were right next to the patient, we didn't wear masks. We were standing around the edge. And you wore lots of different masks. You changed them constantly. There were periods in between when you took your mask off. You're not wearing them all day. You're not wearing a dirty rag across your face, a piece of cloth. These are disposable masks that are changed constantly. People are wearing dirty rags. They're touching them. They're going out. They're putting them in their car. It's ridiculous. It's mental. And I just saw another old guy wearing one, and we got chatting. And, you know, he started to tell me about the hospitals, and he said that his wife's, I think it was sister, had cancer, and during lockdown her cancer treatment was cancelled and she got really sick, so they put her in a hospice and she was dead 2 days later. What a surprise. Our elderly yet again being systematically culled. Now I wonder how long it's going to be before you start to see people collapsing from wearing these masks.
I want to talk about one thing, very straightforward. It doesn't have anything to do with Democrats, Republicans, or independents. It has to do with a simple proposition. Every single American should be wearing a mask when they're outside for the next 3 months at a minimum. Every governor should mandate mandatory mask wearing. The estimates by the experts are it will save over 40,000 lives in the next 3 months. 40,000 lives.
The need for this mandatory mask wearing will also be about what Joe has articulated and what a Biden-Harris administration will do in terms of creating a pandemic testing board to get tens of millions of testing kits where needed, to build a public health jobs corps, hiring at least 100,000 Americans to lead us through contact tracing as soon as we take office, and to chart a clear path forward for a safe and effective vaccine.
Wearing a mask in Louisiana isn't just important, it is currently required for anyone 2 years old and up. And since little ones may not understand the concept, Jade Cunningham spoke with experts who offer tips on how to help your kids.
For kids, masking up can be both scary and confusing.
Has to wear a mask every day, so they wear it on the bus, they wear it throughout school the whole day.
Angelina Vignair has a 9- and 6-year-old. She admits there was a bit of a learning curve, but that both her boys have gotten more comfortable with wearing a mask.
So just like school supply picking, I let them pick the designs and pick their colors and things like that. So they're a lot more, at least my children, apt to wear them.
It's one of the many tips Natasha Richardson at Children's Hospital encourages, that letting children get creative can help ease their fears.
Usually when masks are being worn, it's in hospital settings. And so my opinion is that kids equate wearing masks with, hey, something's wrong. This isn't something that I want to do.
Allowing kids to decorate, help make, or choose their mask has benefits. Richardson also says it's important parents talk to them about it and set a good example.
Kids learn by play and by mimicking. And so as adults, it's a good idea for us to make sure that we are wearing our mask appropriately.
For Vignair, she's been amazed at how well her boys have adapted.
Kids are really resilient, and you'll be surprised how well they will adapt to their changing surroundings.
Which is why she stresses the importance of having fun with it. That way children can see the benefits of wearing a mask instead of being frightened by them. Jay Cunningham, Eyewitness News.
And Children's Hospital is now in the process of distributing masks to every school in Orleans Parish. In total, about 100,000 masks will be donated.
Is there a potential problem lurking under your mask?
It's really unpleasant.
Real estate manager Jennifer Verbecki wears a mask all day.
My breath stinks.
She's not the only one.
Everybody's complaining about their bad breath.
Dentists say they are getting overwhelmed with patients complaining about what's being called mask mouth.
I'm seeing plaque accumulation.
We're seeing a lot of people with more inflammation, more cavities, more gum disease.
It's due to dry mouth, which happens when we try to get more air through a mask by breathing with our mouth instead of our nose.
It's hot. I feel so much better. I do feel like I have bad breath.
If you smell your own breath, that means there's bacteria in your mouth, and that's a problem. We all have a normal bacteria in the mouth, which acts with our saliva, which bathes our teeth. So with the lack of saliva, more of this gooey plaque is sticking to the teeth, causing the bad breath.
So what can you do to avoid mask mouth? First, brush thoroughly. Then use a scraper like this to remove bacteria on the tongue.
That's disgusting. I can't believe that just came out of my mouth.
But the number one tip, drink plenty of water. Mask mouth, be gone.
As Canada sees mask mandates implemented nationwide, despite not all areas being equally affected by the Wuhan flu, or the massive number of predicted deaths ever coming to fruition, there's a lot of conflicting information on the risk versus the benefit of masking the general public. In 2013, the Canadian Agency for Drug and Technologies in Health, whose slogan is evidence-driven, published a review of relevant literature which clearly states no evidence was found on the effectiveness of wearing surgical masks to protect staff from infectious material in the operating room. Of course, this is specific to sterile, air-conditioned environments. Now, imagine masking the general public in all indoor spaces, regardless of sterility, and compound that with masking people outdoors in a heat wave. Then, of course, we see the people who keep their masks in their pockets and purses or hanging from their rear view mirrors, who pull them down to their chins and constantly pull up the nose portion because it falls down. This is not sterile, but in general, the public hasn't been taught otherwise. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization confirmed in their most recent report, posted on June 5th, that at the present time, the widespread use of masks by healthy people in the community setting is not yet supported by high quality or direct scientific evidence, and there are potential benefits and harms to consider. As it turns out, dentists have recently highlighted one of these harms. It's called mask mouth, and dentists claim that they've seen a 50% increase in patients presenting with gum disease and oral decay in people who have never had issues before. Quote, "We're seeing inflammation in people's gums that have been healthy forever, and cavities in people who have never had them before," one dentist says, and another one writes, "Gum disease or periodontal disease will eventually lead to strokes and an increased risk of heart attacks. People breathe heavily through their mouths when wearing a mask, which is inadvertently causing dry mouth. The mouth breathing is causing the dry mouth, which leads to a decrease in saliva. And of course, we know saliva is what fights the bacteria and cleanses your teeth. Saliva also helps neutralize acid in the mouth and helps prevent tooth decay and gum disease." Now that dentists have started to sound alarm bells, the WHO has issued new guidance advising people against dental visits until more is known about the Wuhan flu. Of course, the WHO dental officer goes on to say, "The likelihood of COVID-19 being transmitted through aerosol or microparticles or airborne particles today, I think, is unknown. It's open to question, at least. That means that more research is needed." The common theme with these health advisors and public safety mandates seems to be based on a lot of theories, unknowns, and hypotheticals. Why can't we flip that switch and simply say, we don't know enough about the harms and risks of masking the general public, so we're going to wait until more research is conducted before mandating a broad and far-reaching policy with no end date? Nope. Instead, our unelected public health overlords mandate something based on polling and not actual clinical evidence. Where is the health in public health? So far, all I'm seeing is a tight clinging to a narrative that is proven in real time to be false. I'm Tamara Ugolini with Rebel News.
Hey guys, I'm Johnny Smugface, TV presenter and part-time comedian. So I'm sure you guys know that today's the day the government has made it mandatory to wear face masks in shops. Masks are going to pull us out of this pandemic, guys. I've bought a charity mask. It cost me £80 and it's not medically approved, but 5% of all proceeds go towards Black Lives Matter. It's got a Black Lives Matter logo on it because I just think it's really important to support communism. I was all set for Mask Day, guys, and then, oh my God, Sainsbury's, Asda and Costa all announced that they're not going to enforce the regulations. They're blatantly putting profit above people's health. There should be security guards patrolling the aisles with CS gas and tasers, trained or untrained. I want to see people on the ground in the meat aisle having face masks forced over their heads. Zero tolerance, guys. This is about people's health, yeah? It's about empathy, kindness and respect for each other. If people won't wear masks, I want to see them locked up. I want to see them lose their jobs, maybe take their assets off them. And if people still won't adhere to the regulations, perhaps torture. Just chop off a finger or pull some teeth or just waterboarding. I don't know. I'm not an expert as such. Obviously, I'm not in charge, but as a Liberal, I think we need to have as many hardline regulations as possible, and there needs to be a punitive crackdown on anyone not following them, because that's what being Liberal's all about. Anyway, I've got no filming commitments today, but I have got a really expensive set of Japanese sushi knives. I'm going to go down to Sainsbury's right now, and if there's anyone without a mask, I'm going to go absolutely vigilante on them, because it's the right thing to do. Have a great day, guys.
Where's your face mask? Alright, I don't need a face mask, I'll have a medical exemption, okay?
You have that on you?
No, I don't need to provide it to you.
You don't?
Okay? No, I don't have to.
Just an ID in you there, mate.
I don't have to provide any ID either. I haven't committed a crime. And I am free to go, actually. Well, we're going to make a move. We have not committed a crime. Hold on. We haven't committed a crime, so what we're going to do, you're on the live feed now.
Yeah.
Just letting you know.
Yeah.
We do have a medical exemption.
Yeah, so what's the medical exemption?
So I don't need to tell you anyway,
Yeah.
okay, because that's a directive you're following,
Yeah.
okay, so we don't have to.
We're following a directive.
Right, and we don't have to comply.
We're asking you your reason
for my mask,
Yeah.
right, and I told you I've got a medical exemption,
Yeah.
okay?
And
I haven't
what's
committed
the
a crime,
medical exemption?
and I can move on.
What's the medical exemption?
I don't have to provide that to you.
You do have to provide that to me.
Okay, you haven't committed a crime.
Okay, if we believe...
Are you spitting, mate?
We believe that...
Mate, you're spitting on the floor, officer.
If we believe...
Did you see that, guys? You're going to go on a live feed today.
Be quiet for a second.
No, sorry, officer.
If we believe
You're acting as an armed civilian. I have no business with you. I have no business with you guys, okay? I do not consent.
Keep it simple.
I have
Bring
no
your
business with you
now, we're
guys.
going to arrest you.
I have no business with you
You're
guys.
arrested, put your phone away, under arrest.
Arrest?
Put your phone away.
Sorry, what do I need to be arrested for?
Put your phone away.
Yo, ZCS, let's kick it. Mask, baby. Mask, baby. Alright, stop. Mask up and listen. School is back, about to be in person. COVID, trying to hold on tightly, making new protocols almost nightly. Will it ever stop? Yo, we don't know. It's time to get back. Man, let's go. Maybe extreme, no, let's run it like I'm Handle. Wash up my hands, sanitize like a vandal. Elementary, no mask in the classroom. Driving this car, 2 custodians, vroom, mask up. When you sing a melody, mask break outside, it ain't no felony. Love it or leave it, in person is the way. Unless easiest global is your sway. Gotta be creative, teachers on it. This face is punk, no matter what's on it. Mask, baby. For teachers, mask, baby. Not first graders. Middle schoolers.
This world is not what you think it is. This world is not what you think it is.